I love history, and I also love completely bogus historical fiction. Part of the entertainment of watching a historical epic is seeing what they get right and what they get wrong. And up next is Gladiator 2. I have my money down, my popcorn, ready to cheer the good guys and boo the bad guys, and later roast the director and writers who would probably flunk a history class. But it still doesn't change that Gladiator was enjoyable, ridiculously popular, and has held up relatively well since its release in 2000. So much so that they made Gladiator 2. So sit back and enjoy the completely entertainingly inaccurate Gladiator. As one of Ridley Scott's best movies, Gladiator was one of the first commercially and critically successful films of the 21st century. And though the movie won Oscars and earned piles of money at the box office, its success meant that audiences became accustomed to a fictionalized ancient Rome. Of course, this is hardly the first time Hollywood disregarded the historical record to make a pretty good Roman movie. From falsely portrayed historical figures to inaccurate social patterns, historical errors in Gladiator abound. The bad history in the film doesn't make it a bad movie, it just means that the viewers should turn to a history book, rather than a sword and sandals epic to learn Roman history. Let's start off with the characters. Marcus Aurelius was a philosopher king as portrayed in the movie and was considered the last of the good emperors. However, the movie would have us believe he wanted to return the Roman Empire to a republic, and Commodus, his rejected son, murdered him. In reality, the emperor doted on his son, raised him to co-ruler in 177, and when Marcus Aurelius died in 180, probably of plague, the Senate and army enthusiastically acclaimed Commodus as the emperor. Commodus was 19 when he assumed the diadem, and in typical teenage fashion, rejected everything his father stood for. The movie actually cleaned up some of his monstrousness. Among his many excesses, he renamed Rome Colony of Commodus, kept hundreds of women and boys for his pleasure, and executed wealthy men to confiscate their property. He also fought as a gladiator over 700 times but didn't die in the arena. All his opponents were too scared of hurting him and being executed. After reigning 13 years, his familiars became so afraid, his favorite concubine poisoned him, and a wrestler strangled him in his weakened condition. In the movie, Lucilla, Commodus' sister, is a virtuous widow who wants to help realize her father's dream of returning Rome to a republic and enlist the help of the honorable senator Gracchus in her cause. The titular gladiator is to lead the revolt. In real life, Lucilla married her father's co-emperor, Lucius Verus, and got a taste of ruling and power. When Verus died, she married an elderly man named Pompeianus, but soon got bored with private life. Lucilla plotted against her brother and was caught, sentenced to exile in 182, and murdered on her brother's order in 183. Which brings us to the gladiator. In the movie, Maximus, the honorable general turned slave turned gladiator, avenges the murder of his family by killing Commodus in gladiatorial combat. Maximus did not exist. Commodus did execute two well-regarded brothers named Maximus and Concondianus, who served as Roman consuls in 151, but there is no record of a General Maximus from Spain. An ex-soldier named Maternus might have inspired part of the story. He gathered bands of deserters, broke open prisons, and incited slaves to revolt. He forged these dregs into an army which terrorized the rich cities of Gaul and Spain, then split up his men and sent them in disguise over the Alps to Rome. Maternus planned to murder Commodus and take over the throne during the tumultuous festival honoring Cybele. He is betrayed and executed. The movie was great overall, but its most grievous historical fault is in leading us to believe that after Commodus' death, Rome passed into the hands of wise Lucilla and honorable Gracchus. All is well in the Roman Empire and American moviegoers have their happy ending, but it didn't happen. After Commodus' murder at the hands of his concubine and wrestler friend, his Praetorian Guard handpicked an elderly man of impeccable reputation named Pertinax and very soon resented their haste. The new emperor reserved Commodus's largest towards the guards. After only 86 days, the Praetorians assassinated the virtuous Pertinax and put the imperial throne up for sale to the highest bidder. This ended the era of the Antonines, and the Roman Empire plunged into chaos, which lasted over 100 years. Now, as for Gladiator 2, Paul Mescal is poised to take the lead as Lucius Verus II, a fictionalized rendition of a genuine historical persona. In the original Gladiator film, Lucius Verus II is depicted as the young son of Lucilla and the nephew of the nefarious Roman Emperor Commodus. Lucius develops a fascination with the gladiatorial games and forms a bond with Maximus. With Paul Mescal joining the star-studded cast of Gladiator 2, the grown-up Lucius Verus II will take center stage in the eagerly awaited sequel, raising even more concerns regarding historical accuracy. Contrary to his portrayal as a young boy in Gladiator, the actual Lucius Verus II tragically passed away at an even younger age, preceding Commodus's ascension to emperor. Historically, Lucius's untimely demise, along with the deaths of most of Lucilla's children under mysterious circumstances, remained unexplored in the original film. As the descendant of two emperors, Marcus Aurelius and Lucius Verus, Lucius II inherits the weighty legacy of a prominent bloodline, potentially positioning him as a significant figure in the political landscape. Following Commodus's demise, history unfolds the tumultuous Year of the Five Emperors, during which 5 contenders vie for the imperial throne. Had the real Lucius Verus II survived, he might have emerged as a formidable contender for rulership. Despite his youth rendering him vulnerable to political machinations, Septimius Severus ultimately emerges victorious from his historical power struggle, reigning for nearly 2 decades until 211. In Gladiator 2, Septimius Severus could potentially occupy the throne, with Lucius, portrayed by Paul Mescal, poised to claim his rightful place under Severus's rule. The creative liberties taken in Gladiator offer ample opportunity to introduce Lucius into the sequel's narrative. Described as featuring a revenge plot akin to the original, Gladiator 2 can explore various hypothetical scenarios. For instance, with the film's timeline, Lucilla's involvement in a failed assassination plot against Commodus could lead to her demise, spurring Lucius on a path of vengeance. Alternatively, Lucilla's demise during the Year of the Five Emperors, possibly as she contends Lucius Verus II's rightful claim to the throne, could serve as a catalyst for his pursuit of retribution. The possibilities are vast, providing ample fodder for Lucius's journey towards revenge, echoing the trajectory of Maximus in the original film. What do you think? Comment down in the section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.